All righty, well, we've reached the appointed hour. Welcome to the October meeting of your Louisville Town Council. So nice to see the folks who are here in the audience tonight. Thank you for watching at home on TV6 as well as Facebook. We really appreciate you taking time out of your evening, particularly the dinner hour, to be with us this evening. We're going to start the meeting as we customarily do with our roll call of council members.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ivan Huffman.
I'm Tom Lawson.
Happy Thursday evening. My name's Melissa Hunt.
I'm Mike Horn.
Hi, I'm Ken Sadler.
Evening, Jane Welch.
Good Thursday evening. I'm Monty Long.
Very good. We also have with us our Town Public Works Director, our Town Clerk, our Town Finance Director, I believe our Town Communications Specialist just popped her head out. She's here as well. Our attorney is on his way. I understand there was a traffic accident between here and Winston-Salem, so he'll be arriving shortly. If we have need legal advice, we'll pause there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please stand with us for an invocation led by Mayor Pro Tem Melissa Hunt and then followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Council Member Ivan Huffman. And if you'll remain standing just for a moment.
Please bow your heads as we pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the privilege of serving our neighbors. Tonight we remember that decisions made here shape the paths of future generations. Give us wisdom that is pure and peace-loving, considerate, and sincere. Bless our first responders, our educators, our small businesses, and every household in our community. May what we decide here bring unity, safety, and flourishing to our town. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, most of you have heard the news about Mary Alice Warren, who passed away this last weekend. What an amazing individual she was, what a legacy she left to Louisville. I'd just like to take a moment of remembrance for her, so if you would, I would sure appreciate it. Thank you so much. All righty, council members, you have received the agenda. We do have one change on the agenda from the one that you received, and that is item 5E. We're going to move that to our November meeting, so it comes off tonight's agenda and goes to our November meeting. Other than that, Madam Clerk, has there been any other additions or changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Very good, thank you. Council members, if the agenda is acceptable, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Welch makes the motion. Mr. Long makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. Angie, you have our consent agenda, please. By the way, I will say our town manager ordinarily would be here, but she's under the weather tonight. I know that she's watching on TV6. No, she's probably watching on Facebook tonight. So, Stacy, we wish you a speedy recovery. We know you have the A-team here ready to go, so we are thinking about you. Angie, thank you.
Council, before you tonight, we have the consent agenda with Resolution 2025-031, which is the financial statements for 2 months ended August 31st of 2025. We also have the approval of the draft agenda briefing minutes of September 4th, 2025, and we have the approval of the draft regular meeting minutes of September 11, 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, consent agenda are items that routinely come before the council. We take them as a group because they are routine matters. Any council member can ask for any one of those to be removed and discussed separately. What's your pleasure, council?
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Mr. Huffman makes the motion. Mr. Long makes the second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. We don't have any proclamations, or we do have an introduction, but I understand that he's stuck in traffic. So we'll do that introduction once he arrives. But PJ, it's your show.
Hope everybody's having a good week. September stats, 748 total calls for service, 401 security checks, 35 traffic arrests, 10 of those being alarms, and still running about a 5-minute response times. You can see those numbers compared to last year, 708. 430 security checks, 25 and 12 alarms. So not a lot to report to you other than we're making some headway with our new traffic pattern. So encourage everybody to be patient with us as we try to get people to make the right-hand turn out of Lucy Lane during school drop-off and pickup time. So seems to be working well. We run into some snags with construction, and I know everybody gets a little antsy, but just bear with us. We're trying to keep the traffic flowing the best that we can. So just remember, everybody try to make a right-hand turn. Don't make that left-hand turn out of Lucy Lane. So.
Any questions for BJ?
Yes, Mayor, I do have one.
Please.
PJ, I see here it's the most traffic arrest violations we've had recorded for this year. It's kind of a two-parter, but is that in relation to maybe some increase in focusing on construction traffic, people speeding through work zones, stuff like that, or?
No, we've not issued any kind of, we've not really had an issue with construction traffic, and our whole focus right now with the new traffic pattern is more of an educational approach versus trying to issue citations. So what you have is, we know that things happen where grandparents or babysitters have to pick up kids that maybe normally doesn't do it, so they're not into that routine. So it's more stopping to let those folks know, hey, this is how it's going to be. Whether you see a cone out there or a deputy, we do have a sign in place. But it's just to educate people so that we don't have to get into that issuing citations for that.
Very good. Anything else for PJ?
I have a follow-up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, PJ, I just want to publicly thank you for the efforts you guys have done with working with the town and collaborating with the school system and all the efforts to get to where we are today with that. I came through this afternoon. I don't remember what time it was, but it was just easy peasy getting right through town, and it felt really good versus deciding, do I go on the middle lane? Do I stay on the right side? So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Anything else for PJ? PJ, I understand you had a skunky emergency at Mrs. Welch's house that you had to deal with this week. We understand you handled it with the plum and tomato juice and vinegar. So,
No comment.
Too soon.
well,
Too soon, Mayor, too soon.
I need to thank PJ. I first called about 3 of my neighbors, but I was having to hold a certain door closed with one arm, and I thought, oh, I got PJ's number. And I could tell you hesitated for just the briefest of time, and I'm thinking you were trying to decide, who can I hand this off to? But you ended up coming, and I think you got sprayed yourself, but you were, a real lifesaver, so I thank you.
Well, I would say I was happy to help, but I just
Yeah, the skunk survived, but he could have been in the house for as long as 4 hours.
we have trespassing, so if he comes back,
thank you,
Thank
PJ.
Thank you.
hope y'all have a good week.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to put on my glasses to be able to introduce our new town attorney, Al Andrews, and he's sitting right over here in the blue jacket. Al graduated with honors from a very prestigious Howard University. He has his law degree from not quite so prestigious University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I figured any of you state folks would appreciate that. But sincerely, Al served his country as a U.S. Army Judge Advocate. I think Judge Advocate General. I think they're known as JAG if you've seen it on television. He is a local government attorney. He served the cities of Charlotte and High Point as a police attorney. He further served as the Durham County Attorney, a deputy county attorney for Gaston County, a deputy city attorney for the city of Winston-Salem, and as chief deputy city attorney for the city of Greensboro. In addition, Mr. Andrews, we'll call him Al because we are familiar here, was a staff attorney with the North Carolina General Assembly. His extensive experience in economic development, eminent domain, community development, code enforcement, nuisance abatement, and a variety of background that makes him absolutely well-suited for our town of Louisville and our next phase in our growth. So welcome, Al. We're so glad you're here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first opportunity for you to address the council tonight. There will be two, our public forum now and our public forum at the end of the meeting. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council on anything that's near and dear to your heart? Please come forward. All righty, I see no bodies moving. We'll move on to new business. Angie, I believe you have the first item for us.
Yes, council. Before you is a motion to approve the 2026 meeting schedule. This includes dates for the board and committee meetings, the Community Day event, the town council briefings and regular meetings, the council retreat and budget workshops, as well as the North Carolina League of Municipalities Annual City Vision. And staff is requesting council to consider a motion to adopt this schedule.
Any question for our clerk? If not, we'll entertain a motion, please.
I'll offer a motion.
Second.
Mr. Lawson makes the motion, Dr. Sadler makes the second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is unanimous. Thank you very much. I have the next two. I'll stand in for our town planner, who is also, unfortunately, under the weather. Lynn, I hope you're watching. We hope you recover very quickly as well. We'll take them one at a time. And on November 13th, we will have a public hearing to receive public comments on text amendments for our Unified Development Ordinance. As you folks know, the Unified Development Ordinance, that we refer to generally as the UDO, contains all of our planning requirements and ordinances that we use for development in the town of Louisville. 2 months ago, I believe, Pam, is that correct, that we adopted the rewrite of the UDO? Or was that last month? Last month, okay, which was a 2-year project to rewrite the codes of our UDO, but we do, in reviewing that, found a couple of areas where we need to do text amendments. The first one was to redefine the scale of religious institutions to better fit the character of Louisville by preventing very large religious institutions in the RS zoning district. That's our residential zoning districts. Second, we had some updates and to our tree preservation standards to clean up some disparities in the standards of measurements, and importantly, to increase flexibility for tree preservation that's currently missing from our UDO. So you folks that have talked to the council members over the years about greater attempts to preserve our trees, I think we're addressing it in this text amendment for the UDO. And finally, we have a new set of open space standards for major residential subdivisions based on the density of the projects to help Louisville retain its small town character. Our planner will be here next week or next month to give us a much more detailed presentation of this, but this is to set the public hearing for November 13th, 2025. Council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve. Resolution 2025-034.
I'll second that.
Ms. Hunt makes the motion. Mr. Lawson makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. We will have a public hearing on the text amendments on November 13th. The second one is our resolution 2025-040, and this is to have a public hearing to receive comments on a rezoning request. This is a request to rezone the property at the corner of Heritage Drive and Shallowford Roads. We would be rezoning it from residential single-family to the Louisville Downtown 1 conditional zoning. The applications are the owners of the current UPS store, and they will be relocating to that location. They were proposed for one building with 3 office commercial units, including a new UPS store. Again, we will have a much more detailed presentation at our meeting next month. But council members, this is to set the public hearing.
Move to approve Resolution 2025-040.
Second.
Mr. Huffman makes the motion. Dr. Sadler makes the second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. John, you're up.
Yes, sir. Before you is Resolution 2025-041, which would award the contract for fall roadway crack sealing to American Spray Tech of Pofftown. This will continue our efforts to develop an effective pavement preservation program, which devotes a percentage of our street maintenance budget each year to preventive maintenance. The project price is $81,653 and treats several groups of streets scattered throughout town.
This is a Powell bill funded item, and available Powell bill funds appropriated in the 25-26 budget total $780,000, the balance of which will remain available for a spring resurfacing package for streets in poor condition. If it pleases council, staff recommends approval of this resolution.
Very good, and we've in the past referred to this as street art.
Street art.
And I think it's beginning to catch on. I'm not sure we're there yet, but it's beginning to catch on. Council members, any questions for John?
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
John, thank you. Without naming streets, approximately how many streets would be included in this?
I'm sorry, I don't have that number. I would say we're probably hitting 18 to 20 streets. We're continuing work in 3 of our major neighborhoods, as well as going out into some areas where there are individual streets or individual little residential groups that aren't necessarily neighborhoods, but that we're, kind of out there, really spreading it around town, getting some good spots up in Vienna, getting some spots kind of down on the south side that are outliers. I know the Forest Brook neighborhood, the entire group, or I'm sorry, Brook Forest, the entire neighborhood there is getting done. So we're spreading it around town quite a bit.
Quite a bit, thank you.
Any other questions for John?
Yes, Mayor, I do.
Please.
John, for anybody that wasn't able to listen last week to our briefing or read those minutes, a question for you is roughly how many miles of roadway are we covering? I know there's some sections make it a lot more than others, but roughly how
It
many?
is. Some sections are much worse, although, a street can only be so bad before crack sealing is kind of a waste of time. So these are streets that are they're still in the upper half of the condition rating. Mileage-wise, we're probably 3 to 4 miles of street. Now, as Dr. Sadler and I were talking about, if you break down 80-something thousand linear feet of crack sealing, that works out to, I think, 15 miles. But that is literally linear feet of crack that is intended to be sealed. So if you condense all that down to just the actual miles of street we'll be traveling doing this, it's about 3 to 4 miles.
Fantastic, thank you.
Very good. Any other questions? Council, what's your pleasure?
Motion to approve Resolution 2025-41.
Second?
Mr. Long makes the motion, Ms. Welch makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is unanimous. Pam, we're going to jump down to item number F now.
Okay, we have Resolution 2025-043. This is to approve a contract with a company called Volkert Incorporated. They will provide construction, engineering, and inspection services related to the construction of the new roundabout at Louisville-Vienna Road and Robin Hood Road. And this firm was chosen by staff after performing qualification-based selection, which is required under state law. So they were chosen as the most, with the best qualifications for this service. And the amount of the contract is not to exceed an amount of $358,217.24.
Any questions for Pam? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will note that following the pandemic, the cost for engineering, the cost for construction, in some cases doubled or tripled. We're very heartened when we began looking at the proposals for our engineering costs, and it has come down substantially. So hopefully we're moving in the right direction, and our other projects as they come forward will benefit from the what is turning into be an increased competition. So that helps us out a lot. Council, what's your pleasure, please?
I like it. If Pam says the numbers are good, that's good enough for me.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Lawson makes the motion. Mr. Long makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. Angie, you have road closing for us, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Before you tonight, we have ordinance 2025-027 to declare road closures for the 2025 Christmas parade. This is a routine item to close roads for the annual Christmas parade that will be held this year on December the 14th.
Mr. Franklin, if you're watching from home, this is the 1-2-3 Christmas parade. It's the #1 parade in Forsyth County on the second Sunday of the month at 3 p.m. I hope I got that right, Fred. Very good. Any questions for Angie? Entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve ordinance 2025-27.
I'll second it.
Mr. Long makes the motion, Ms. Hunt makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Thank you, that is unanimous. Pam, you have the next couple of items for us.
Yes, we have ordinance 2025-028. This is an ordinance to amend our Community Center Capital Project Fund. That particular capital project fund was used to construct the Mary Alice Warren Community Center. All vendors have been paid. There are no longer any more transactions within the fund, so we're prepared to close it out. And the balance in the fund right now is $259,082, plus any investment earnings that might have accrued over the last few days. So we are proposing that we close out that particular capital project and move those funds into the Great Wagon Road Improvements Capital Project Fund, where we will use that money to help construct the water and sewer lines along the newly constructed Great Wagon Road, as well as other street improvements.
Any questions for Pam? Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear us refer to capital project funds. These are specific amounts of money identified to a specific project. They come from our general fund, which is transferred into our reserves for those projects. Our reserves, obviously, are savings accounts. And we've been very fortunate over the years to build substantial reserves for various projects. The Mary Alice Warren Community Center was one of them. And it's nice to know we have a little bit left over, and we're going to move it to the Great Wagon Road. Any questions for Pam? Entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve 2025-028.
I'll second that.
Mr. Huffman makes the motion. Mr. Lawson makes the second. You guys are, I'm getting to where I recognize your voices now at the very end of my lifetime.
It's only been 2 years.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. Pam, you have one more.
Okay, we have ordinance 2025-029. This is to amend the Jack Warren Park Improvements Capital Project Fund. Again, staff is prepared to close out that fund. All vendors have been paid, and all grant money has been collected under the Part F grant that we received. Right now, there is $354,575 plus some accrued investment earnings in that fund, and we propose that this fund be closed and the remaining funds be transferred to the Great Wagon Road Improvements Capital Project Fund, again, to help pay for the new water sewer lines and the street improvements.
Any questions for Pam? If not, entertain a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve 2025-29.
Second?
Mr. Long makes the motion. Ms. Welch makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. Angie?
Yes, sir. Before you have Resolution 2025-045, a facility use exemption request for West Forsyth Christian Preschool, who submitted the request for the Mary Alice Warren Community Center for April the 17th of 2026 for an annual gallery hop and silent auction. The Special Project Review Committee met this past Monday to review the request and recommended approval to the Town Council at Monday evening's briefing. I respectfully will defer to the committee members if they have any comments that they would like to make.
Thank you. Madam Chairman?
I think we're in order to have all of this special committee in order, and you'll report a little bit later on another part of it, but any other comments from the committee, which I so appreciate Melissa and Ivan being part of getting this back into an order that the next council can really be comfortable with.
Very good. Council members, any questions? Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Welch makes the motion. Mr. Huffman makes the second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. Angie, you have the next one as well.
Yes, sir. Resolution 2025-044 to approve the Special Project Review Committee facility use exemption process and revisions. Council has received copies of the recommended revisions from the committee that met on September the 18th. These changes would institute an annual process for grant funding request in the spring and facility use exemption request in the fall.
Any questions for Angie? Committee members, do you want to elaborate on this just a little bit to kind of explain why we are arriving at this point?
Yes, I actually, excuse me, I was really looking at the one before that, which I got them a little backwards. So to go backwards a little bit for that facility use exemption, yes, that was a unanimous approval by the committee. And then as my statements were backwards, now the resolution for the approval of the Special Projects Review Committee was to get it into a situation where the next council can be effective in using it and cleaning up a few things, making it not so vague, and also having it organized with the budget amendment as well. So, thank you.
Council members, any other comments? Any questions?
Yeah, I have a
Yes,
comment, Mayor. So as a member of that Special Review Projects Committee, we started, just for the public's knowledge, we started with the purpose of the actual policy in mind. And the purpose of that policy was, let me put my goggles on here, was for the promotion of partnerships between the town and nonprofit organizations for the benefit of our Louisville residents. So we started there when we started looking at this particular policy, and there was about 3 or 4 different things that really narrowed down why we felt like there needed to be a change to this policy. Those 4 things really came to the establishment of clear eligibility guidelines. The existing policy had some, has some kind of ambiguous language when it came to how the nonprofits can come to us and be eligible for things. We also structured the application cycle, made it a little bit more transparent in the review process, and then that's going to really ensure that we're able to allocate funds as a town for these nonprofits. So our hope in doing this is that the next sitting council will in fact allocate funds that can be specific to building these partnerships with nonprofits. So with that, I would like to, if Ivan doesn't have any additional comments, I'd like to go ahead and motion to approve.
I will second once I'm done with my comments.
Absolutely.
The only comment that I'd like to add to this is this policy and the formal and how we got here over the past year, it's been about a year and a half, really started when a majority of our applications were coming in so sporadically and incomplete that staff was spending a significant amount of time tracking down these agencies and these organizations to finish the application. What we're doing now is providing an even playing field for all nonprofits that apply for this. So there's twice a year that they do this. It allows everybody to be kind of lined up in a row and see who really kind of stands to the tests that we've placed here in order to not only save council members' time and the community time and the community dollars, but also staff. One thing we don't talk about enough sometimes is the amount of time it takes for staff to go through emails and talk to these agencies. So what we're doing is really trying to just save everyone a little bit of time and the taxpayers and the residents the money that we are maybe not spending as cash, but we're spending in salary and payroll. So try to make everything a little bit more conducive for progress.
One more comment, please, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and for a little more clarity with the process, this way there will only be twice a year. We're either looking at use of the Mary Alice Warren Community Center, or we're looking at expending monies from our budget for application of grants.
Very good. Any other comments?
I do have.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so sorry. And just to clarify, this is not in any way to diminish the community environment that we're trying to, and kind of the purpose of that Mary Alice Warren Community Center. It's not a profit center. It's not a, it is a revenue source for us as a town, but this is not to try to circumvent that and for it to be a major revenue source. This is simply an effort to try to ensure that the policy set forth does kind of support that Mary Alice Warren Community Center mission. So just want to be clear on that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You know, Sandra, you were on the council when we first embarked upon the Mary Alice Warren Community Center. Ken was. Jane, I believe, were you there
Not
at that point?
not at that point.
Well, you know, what we were concerned about a little bit is that we were going to build this beautiful community center and then maybe it wouldn't be used as much. The first year, we had 375 events, activities, and classes. And we were applauding ourselves and saying, whoopee, that's fabulous. Well, we received our report from our operations manager this week. Just in this last quarter, we had 240 programs, events, and activities at the community center. what we're trying to do here is make sure that everybody has access, but at the same time, put some order to a facility that is having increasing demand for its usage. So, Sandra, we should be proud, Ken, we should be proud that this has really become a center of our community, and there's a lot going on there. If you haven't looked at it, please go to our website, louisvillenc.net, and call up events and activities, specifically Mary Alice Warren Community Center, and you'll see there are many offerings that you or your family may want to take advantage of. All righty, I spoke for too long, but I suspect Ms. Hunt made the motion and Mr. Huffman made the second. Is my memory sound? Well, this one said it is good. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That is unanimous. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we hurried through our new business items, but it's important to recognize that the council has extensive briefing. Generally, it's the first Thursday of every month, but this month, because we had some schedule changes, it was last Monday. But this is when we get in-depth briefing, in-depth information on all of the items that are coming before us tonight. That gives us an opportunity to think through them, to ask questions, and be prepared to vote on at our regular council meeting. So we're not hurrying through these without appropriate deliberation or information. We just kind of know what we're doing. All right. John, you have administrative reports.
Yes, sir, and I will apologize because I know Ms. Tolbert sounds way better doing this than I do. This Friday, the 10th, we have Hocus Pocus 2 at Starlight Movie Night. That's at the Square. It starts at dusk. We're thinking that this movie will be in the 7 o'clock to 7:15 start time. Bulky item pickup begins on Monday, October 13th. Please make sure that everyone has everything to the curb by 6 o'clock a.m. on that Monday. Usually runs about 2 weeks. We have the Election Candidate Forum at Mary Alice Warren Community Center on October 16th at 7 o'clock p.m., and that is hosted by the Louisville Civic Club. On October 18th from 9 to 12, that's a Saturday, we have our Fall Clean Sweep. That will begin at the Town Annex, and then we'll go from there. Also that morning from 10 to 2, we have our special recycling event that is sponsored by our ECSC, Environmental Conservation Sustainability Committee. That will happen on David McKee Street in its normal spot. We'll just have probably a bit of an adjusted traffic pattern for that, given the construction over there. On October 25th at 1, we've got Shalloween at the Square. That's a great event for all the kids, so I hope everybody will come out for that. And then we will have orientation for the newly elected council members at Town Hall on December 4th. That will begin at 4.
Thank you, John. Any comments or questions?
So, John, the special recycling event, how does that differ from normal recycling?
These are all the items that are recyclable but cannot be put in your curbside recycling. So these are, everything that is just not in that standard group of things that is acceptable to waste management for curbside recycling. So they collect everything from toothpaste tubes and different hair care product containers. The list is on our website. It's also on the poster that we put out in the newsletter. So it's quite a large collection of things. I think there are lots of people that save this stuff up for half the year to bring it over there. So all those things we really don't want you putting in that curbside can.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Very good. Thank you, John. Angie, you have our board and committee vacancy update.
Yes, Council. We currently have a couple of vacancies on our Louisville Beautification Committee. Staff did receive 3 applications for those openings, which are 2, so we will be conducting interviews next week and hope to make a recommendation to council in November so appointments can be made. For that, there also remains a couple of openings, one on the Zoning Board of Adjustment and one on the Willow Run Municipal Service District that we have left applications open and we will receive until we get those 2 filled. So hopefully we can get those appointments made soon as well.
Very good. Any questions? Ladies and gentlemen, as most of you know who've been around the block a couple of times, the town of Louisville relies heavily on our boards and committees to help guide us through a number of special projects, and we get their advice. And And it helps us as a council be better informed, and also it helps, allows our residents to participate directly in how issues come before the council and certainly have the input into the future of our town. Mr. Armbruster back there was a representative of our Public Works and Public Arts Advisory Committee, and I'll thank you now, John. I was going to wait till the end of the meeting, but it was a fabulous unveiling that we had on Monday night. We had a work unveiled by Mr. Spainhour, Paul Spainhour, who is a Louisville resident, and this is, well, I hope will be the first of many public art pieces that we're able to unveil over the future years. John, thank you so much for the work of you and your committee.
Thank the staff for all the work they made possible. It's did an incredible job. We appreciate it.
Very good. All righty, John, you're back up.
Yes, sir. This is regarding the Moser property at 6665 Shallowford Road. We intended to have a request for a budget proposal or a budget amendment before council tonight, but as we discussed at our Monday meeting, we needed to investigate further the scope of the well abandonments that are required over there. And upon further study of that and work with contractors and our colleagues at Forsyth County, these two wells present especially complicated mitigation factors. We essentially need more time to thoroughly research and price the work and hope to bring that information to you at your November meeting.
Very good. Any questions for John? Very good. All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned, we do have a briefing meeting. In this case, it was the Monday of this week. And at that meeting, sometimes we find it necessary to take actions. And we do want to report those actions out tonight. Angie?
Yes, sir. So at the briefing on Monday, council made a motion for a moratorium on the facility use and exemption request in order for us to have council consider the revisions and suggested changes by the committee and for staff to be able to implement those. So hopefully that will not take too long.
Very good.
May I add to that, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and speaking with the committee members and also Stacy, our town manager, we have decided that we would have the moratorium end on December the 3rd, which will be our briefing. That gives us time really just to clean up a little bit of the application. For example, when applications are due, when the monies will be allocated in July for those who are accepted in their application for financials.
Very good. Any questions? All righty. Angie, you have the next item.
I believe we are ready to move on to public comment, sir.
Why? I want to go back to that item. No, I almost did it. I almost made it all the way through the meeting without stumbling, and the last moment, I got caught. But that's the way it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the second opportunity. If you would like to address the council on any matters that you feel important for us to hear, this is your chance to speak to us. Anyone wish to address the council at this time? Yes, sir. Please come up. State your name and address.
My name is Kevin Sharp, and I reside at 975 Don Leah Drive here in Louisville. Last month, I got up to express my appreciation for the hard work of the UDO, the rewriting, public comments. With most of you, I've met with all of you, and with most of you, you have referred me back to that UDO. And it, as I like to say, is the playbook for the next council and probably the next decade of councils for development ordinances that are happening in this town. So thank you for that. But in the same vein with that, and unfortunately we've moved that resolution to next week, is the resolution 2025-042 has to do with the lift station and that fundamental project that will take place at some point, I hope. And I would like to implore you to approve that project that will really open up the opportunity for development. Now, thoughtful development based on the UDO that you all have put together. So I'm very excited about that. That's going to create some opportunities for more people to be in Louisville, more property tax to pay for the services here in Louisville. And then the last thing on that particular topic, I would also implore you to really look at ways to monetize that lift station, for people tapping into that, for developments tapping into that. I want that money to come back to Louisville. I don't want current Louisville residents to be paying for a lift station that folks will be able to tap into and not have to pay for. So I know there's some unique opportunities for new council and looking down at the opportunities to do that. But I want to make sure that we're taking the time to really do it the right way, so that's set up for the right way from the very beginning. Thank you.
Very good. Anyone else wish to speak? If not, council members.
Yes, the new deputy, before he has to leave, I saw him going out a little bit. He's here. Okay, that was just a test. You know, we have so many that go through. I thought, oh, we have another one. The beard looks good. So then another comment, moving right along. Thank those who wore pink, and just want to encourage everyone for your loved ones to remind them to get their mammograms. Men also need to be aware that men can get breast cancer, but they've made a lot of progress through the years, and one day, hopefully, we'll have a cure for it.
Council members, anyone else?
I just want to say he told on himself for not helping her with the skunk. That's it.
That's going to be a hazing ritual, so to speak, for future new deputies. Maybe? Yeah, you're not. One comment, council, before we go. We did have a blood drive, as you know, yesterday. I want to thank all of you who went out and donated blood. We not only met our goal, but we exceeded it. And this, as far as I can remember, which is usually only about 20 minutes, for the last several blood drives, we have exceeded the goals that we've set. So thank you for going out and giving the gift of life. This is a most critical time, and those of you who took time to do it, it's painless, it's easy, and you are going to save a life and make a difference in somebody's future. All righty, council members, if there's nothing else to come before us this evening, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Long makes the motion. Mr. Huffman makes the second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We're adjourned. Folks watching at home, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here, folks in the audience tonight. We're glad you're here, and we'll see you next month.
I was looking for